Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I am going to do a full face of brands that took me off PR. Brands where I, for one reason or another, are no longer on their PR list even though I was for a bit. This isn't really a super shady kind of a video. I'm not going to be airing anyone's dirty laundry out, maybe a little bit. I'm going to maybe be a little bit shady. This is just going to be a video about explaining why you might end up on someone's PR list and why you might end up seeing yourself exiting that PR list. Just describing a little bit because I don't hold any grudges towards any of these brands and I actually agree with some of these brands why they should have taken me off PR. So let's dive into this. If you haven't been here before, do consider subscribing. I do upload quite a lot of videos every week, all about makeup, all about beauty, all about colorful things. What do you think about my new dress? I bought it from Aritzia. Absolutely love it. These earrings are actually new as well. This was my Christmas gift to me. From me to me. This is from Jacquemus. Per usual, I will link everything down in the description box that I have on me and that I'm gonna be wearing, but yeah. But my thing is doing colorful things and that's definitely what we're doing today. That turned into be quite a long intro, which is not necessarily what I was intending. I have my dog here and she seems to be wanting a little bit of attention. So I might... Do you want to go out and potty? Do you want to do that before we do this? I don't think that she needs to go out. I just think she wants the attention. This is our rescue dog, Kaisa. She's very sweet. She's very sweet and very cuddly. Okay, let me just start with a primer and then I'll go and see if I can get her in her bed and I'll zoom in a little bit. I'm going to be using Benefit. There has been a lot of chat about Benefit and their PR list as of late, and I have myself been hinting a little bit as to how I feel about their PR list. And this is the Professional Light Primer. I mentioned this as my yearly favorites. I still think that this is a great product. I'm not going to tell you that just because I'm not on the PR list, all of a sudden I don't like their products, because I do. Do you want some primer too? Little snout. I still think that this is a great primer and I still really love the things, like the things that I said that I love from Benefit, I still love them and I still use them, but the way that they handle their PR list needs a little work. And I'm not saying this as someone that is salty that I'm no longer on the PR list. I could be on the PR list if I wanted to, because what Benefit wanted was for people that are not super big influencer. I'm guessing the bigger influencers, you know, the Lauras, the Mannies, they didn't get offered a contract like this. But with the smaller influencers, which is me, according to Benefit, I am a smaller influencer, and I mean, but with the smaller influencers, we were offered a contract. We're offered a contract that said, to be able to get PR from Benefit, we have to promise to post at least twice a month about the brand. Which means that it is no longer PR, they're asking me for unpaid sponsored work. They want me to promise them that I will do 2 dedicated posts, either on Instagram or TikTok, in exchange for PR each month. And I said, thank you, but no thank you. I'll just buy the products myself, because that's the thing, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but the rates for sponsored posts on Instagram is higher than what the PR would be worth. So for me, it makes more sense to just buy the products themselves. And also, why would I be under that kind of a contract? It makes no sense. So I don't like how Benefit was trying to take advantage of smaller influencers in that way. And I really, really hope that nobody signed that contract, because I like Benefit products. I think they're high quality, but this approach to smaller influencers and only giving them free products in exchange for free work is just a little bit insulting. It's like they don't value our presence online, and I would rather just buy the products myself. So that's why I'm no longer on the Benefit PR list. Does that mean that their products are bad, or that the things that I mentioned in my yearly favorites, such as this one, is bad? No, they're still good products. I still like them. I just don't love how the PR team is working with PR towards smaller influencers. I don't think that that's ideal. The next product that I'm going to be using is the new, bear with me, Blur Tint Foundation by NYX Cosmetics. I actually used to be on the NYX Cosmetics PR list, and I think that the main reason why I'm no longer on the NYX Cosmetics PR list is not necessarily that I got kicked off PR, it's because I moved country. Because I was on the NYX Nordics PR list and I'm right now in the US, and I think that when it came to the Nordics, I was actually considered, I mean, in the Nordics, having 100,000 subscribers is seen as a little bit more substantial than having 100,000 subscribers in the US. So it was easier for me to make the PR list of NYX in Sweden than it is for me to make the PR list of NYX in the US. So I don't think it's necessarily that I got like kicked off PR. It's more I know I talked to NYX when I was moving and they were like, oh, maybe you can get on the PR list in the US. But like I already knew that they weren't going to reach out. I already knew that that wasn't going to happen. I also will say I'm not 100% sure. Did scrub my face a little bit, but I think that this will match what I have on the rest of my body. I will say I don't know who gets PR from NYX in the US. None of the people that I watch, and of course the people that I watch is not everyone, it's like a few it's like a few select people that I watch, because I will say I have less time to watch YouTube now than I used to. But I'm not 100% sure who gets PR from NYX in the US. But like I already knew with me moving that I wasn't gonna be one of those people. Does that mean that I stopped loving NYX? Definitely not. Like I bought this foundation myself. I'm gonna be using, I'll probably do my brows off camera, but I'm gonna be using the brow pen, the Lift and Snatch brow pen from NYX. It's literally the best brow pen like for painting on hairs like on the market. I definitely recommend it. I didn't stop buying things from NYX just because I don't receive them as PR anymore. I just moved from being a medium fish in a small pond to a tiny little plankton in a big pond, and that happens sometimes, and that's perfectly fine. That's like the pros and the cons of living in a country with less people. It's easier to be discovered when there are less people to choose from, but it's also harder to grow because there is a glass ceiling. Had my channel been in Swedish, I'm sure I would have been able to get some kind of a success in Sweden too. I mean, I know a lot of people that do, but I would have never reached an English-speaking audience, and I'm so happy that I'm here with you because I've had such a fun learning experience with all of you. One PR list that I used to be on that is actually a brand that I miss, but I mean I still buy the releases that I am interested in, is the Nabla PR list. This is the new uplifting creamy concealer. It's called Regeneration. I bought this quite recently off Beauty Bay. I think with Nabla, because Nabla is an Italian brand and they are pretty, or at least used to be pretty big in Europe. This packaging is stunning. It's one of these poofy ones. They used to be really popular. They used to be really popular in Europe, but I think they might have just scaled back. So with Nabla, I don't necessarily think that it's like they saw my content and they're like, ugh, we don't want to be like associated with her. I more think that they totally scaled back on PR outside of Italy altogether. Because I will say, I don't really know who gets Nabla PR right now. But I used to get all of the releases, and then somewhere along the line, I'm guessing due to COVID, I think they changed a lot with which markets they are aiming to reach, and also which audiences they are trying to reach as well. And I think that being back then I was in Sweden, and even now being in US, I don't think that either the Swedish or the US market was a market that they were particularly interested in anymore. This is just my guess though. It could have been also that they watch my content and they're like, maybe this isn't what we want to be, this isn't exactly how we want our products to be used. But I am guessing that they scaled back a bit, because I cannot be the only one that noticed that they pulled back a little bit from the international market. While we are on the whole topic of Nabla, I'm going to be using their bronzer as well before I go off and do my eyebrows. I think that sometimes we forget, why do brands want you on their PR list? It's not because they're your friends. Brands are not your friends. They're hoping that by giving you products, you're gonna end up loving them, telling your audience about how you feel about them, and they're gonna end up buying them. When you gift products to someone who ends up not liking the products, or maybe there are several releases in a row where the creator is either saying, I don't like this, I don't like the formulas, I don't like the ideas, didn't work for me, any kind of reason. Some people can be pretty rude about things as well. It'd be like, this is awful, this is trash, I can't believe this even exists. The brands don't want their products to go to that. So taking someone off a PR list is more of a business move in that sense, because it's like, why would you try to invest product and time into someone that doesn't seem to like your products, especially if a brand is releasing something and this is like, this is our brand. This encapsulates what our brand stands for, what we like, what we want to bring to the customers. This is as good as it gets according to us. And then all of a sudden, the influencer or the creator is like, this sucks, or I don't like this, or there are so many reasons why this isn't for me. The brands might be like, maybe our brand and their taste or their preferences, they don't align, so they take them off PR, which makes sense. They're out here trying to make money. You're not friends. Really like this bronzer, and this one has survived so many declutters because I know I got this maybe 3 years ago in PR, and I just think that this is such a nice formula. Is it bringing back my face to where I want to be? I hope so. So when I see people saying, I can't believe they took that person off PR list just because they didn't like the product, why would the brand keep someone on PR that doesn't like the product? Like, why would they do that? This is not the brands don't owe you anything. This is not a public service. It's not like you gain a certain amount of subscribers and all of a sudden you're entitled to PR. If the brands don't think you're a good fit for their brand image, they're gonna take you off. It is a business decision, and it's not the end of the world, because for me, I can only speak for me, I would rather not be on PR lists and just buy the products myself if I really wanted to try them, over trying to police brands just to be able to be on PR lists. Because at the end of the day, it's just makeup, and I'm not out here trying to police brands for free lipstick. Life's too short for that. One brand that I very briefly was on the PR list of was Natasha Denona. I really like Natasha Denona. This is the My Dream Cheek Trio. I really love this one. I'm gonna use all 3 of these products. This one I bought myself. I will, like I said, link everything down below, and I will put like a little star behind the things that I received in PR and the things I bought myself. Will say most of these things that I'm using today, I bought myself, and I bought them after I was no longer on the PR list. There are just a couple of things, maybe 2 things here that like actually I received from the brand during the time that I got PR from them. When it comes to Natasha Denona, I got reached out to by the brand when they were releasing the retro palette, which was a little time ago. Was that last year? I want to say it was last year, and I will say, I only got 3 packages from them in PR, and some brands, I would prefer to buy the products myself. I love Natasha Denona. I bought this one. I love the products. I love everything about like how they look, how they wear, like playing with them, having fun with them. But being on the PR list was a little bit of a chore because there were so many ifs and buts, and you have to live up to this, you have to do that. And I don't do that when it comes to PR. I don't let brands decide what I'm gonna do with the products, and this was a brand that really wanted to micromanage, and that for me is not part of PR. So I did actually decline a package from them because I was like, I would rather just buy it myself. I know that, like, yeah, that's why I'm no longer on the Natasha Denona PR list, because I told them, listen, I love you, but this is too much. I'd rather just buy it myself. And from that point forward, I did buy it myself because that was easier than having to deal with all of those things. Because again, it goes into the whole area of, is this PR or is this unpaid sponsored work? And it was really tethering on that line, and I didn't love it. So I prefer to end that and end up still loving the brand instead of things just going south with how I felt about the brand. So I still love the brand, I still buy from the brand, but yeah, I'm no longer on the PR list. And I think that after that time when I declined the PR, I mean, they never sent anything to me since. And I mean, I don't blame them. I think that that was a good choice because it was obvious that we were not gonna agree. We were not gonna agree on stuff like that, which is totally fine. Because here's the thing, I don't want to compromise too much with me and what I like for a free eyeshadow palette. That's at least how I feel. I'm gonna do my lips. This is the Rare Beauty lipstick in Fun, which is a nice, slightly terracotta nude. And when it comes to Rare Beauty, I was on the PR list briefly, very briefly, but it was like a hot, passionate love kind of a thing. Oh, I need a lip liner to fix this a bit, but the color is beautiful. They sent me flowers, they sent me DoorDash gift cards, they sent me some makeup, and then they sent me nothing. I will say the last thing that I received from them was that tinted moisturizer that I really dislike. For me, that is not dewy, it is greasy on me. It turns too greasy too quickly. I have a combo skin, and for me that doesn't work out on me. I don't think that they took me off PR because I didn't like their tinted moisturizer. I think they took me off PR because I probably didn't feature their products on maybe the platforms that they were hoping me to feature them. I think that some brands are looking more into Instagram and TikTok than they do YouTube. And if you don't show their products on the platform where they would like to be seen the most, they might take you off PR. Because again, PR is a business. It's a business thing. They're hoping for you to not only like the products, but also show them on the platforms where they want to be seen the most. And I don't do a lot of TikToks, and I don't do a lot of things on Instagram, and maybe I didn't showcase the things the way that they wanted to, which is perfectly fine. I will say I really like Rare Beauty, and I still have bought pretty much every release from them since then, so there's no hard feelings at all. I would be very happy if I ever were to end up on the PR list again, but I'm not surprised that they took me off because I think they are more leaning into the Instagram, TikTok, shorts kind of a thing. So here is a brand that I briefly were on the PR list for as well, and I don't think I am anymore because I haven't received anything from them, and that is About Face. I'm gonna be using their eye primer. I really like their eye primer. This one I actually bought myself, and then I received it in PR too. I think that this is a really nice eye primer. But I will say there has been a couple of hits and misses when it comes to About Face. I haven't loved everything from the brand. I haven't loved everything that I bought myself either, but overall I do think that it is a really good brand, and I think that like Halsey's doing a really good thing with the brand. Wait, let me see if I can find a brush that's like either somewhat clean at least to blend this out with. I think it might be the exact same reason here that Halsey and like About Face are looking more for exposure on like Instagram and TikTok than they are at like YouTube. And I think that is a lot of brands are even admitting that they're not even looking for talent on YouTube. They're looking for talent on TikTok right now. And I mean, I'm not gonna start posting on TikTok just because that's what the brands want or in the hope of getting more PR. I want to be doing the things that I love doing. I do some TikToks. If you want to find me on TikTok, I'm there. I do some mini tutorials. I try to do some funny things, but honestly, that is for me just a throwaway thing. I don't want to say a throwaway thing, but it's more I'm just having fun. I'm not paying too much attention. And I think that again, About Face might be the exact same reason as Rare Beauty, that I'm not showing the products exactly the way that they want them to be showed on the exact same places where they want to be found, which is of course totally fine, but I need to be adapting to what I want to do. Okay, now I'm going to talk about a brand that I got kicked off PR and then I got put back on PR. And I wanted to talk about that as well and what could be the reason for you to be on a hiatus from the brand. And that is ColourPop. So I'm going to be using this one. This is the Tidal Wave pressed powder palette. It's a little quad. I love the quads from ColourPop. If you've been on my channel, you know that. Let me see if I can find a brush. Hello. So I think I'm going to be using these two, and I am actually going to be mixing this with the, again, Natasha Denona pastel palette, probably diving into this kind of a corner a little bit because I thought that that could be fun. Again, because we were talking about Natasha Denona. When it comes to ColourPop, I have been on several different, I think ColourPop, let me rephrase. I think ColourPop is one of those brands, such as Benefit, that don't just have one PR list. They don't just have like you're on the list or you're off the list. I think it's very much grayscale at ColourPop. It's not a either you're in or you're out. It's more a some people get some things, some people get a little more things, and some people get all the things. And for me, when I was living in Sweden, I was on the list, I get some things. I got maybe a third. Roughly, I would say roughly I got a third of the releases, which fit me perfectly fine, to be honest. In the beginning, when I was on the PR list, I was definitely on the list getting very few things. I got like one package a month, which I was of course very happy with, and it wasn't even necessarily new things, it was just things. Like on PR lists, you don't really get to decide if you get the newest things when they are releasing or like what you're going to be receiving. You are basically going to be receiving what the brand thinks that they want help promoting with. They don't care about you, they don't care about views, they don't care about what fits your channel or what fits your aesthetic or blah blah blah. They're sending out what they want to be promoted. End of story. That's what a PR list is. It's not for me. It's not for creators. It is for them. They're sending out what they want to be promoted in a way that fits the brand. Then, of course, if they're a little bit smart, they will also send out stuff that also fits the people they're sending it out to, so that there is a bigger chance of them actually showing the things, actually using them, and actually loving them. And with ColourPop, I have definitely noticed that their PR list is a little bit more fluid, so they will move people from one part of the PR list to another. You might find yourself all of a sudden getting more PR or less PR, or in my case, no PR, which is what happened when I moved here to US, because I talk to ColourPop and I told them, hey, I'm moving. As soon as I have my new address, I will let you know. And they were like, oh, perfect. Yes, please let us know as soon as you have your new address. I let them know about my new address and I didn't receive any PR. And that is nothing is wrong with that. They literally just decided instead to not have me on PR, which is of course perfectly fine. Why do I feel like I'm so messy today? I feel like I'm just not on top of things. So for a longer period of time, I was not on ColourPop's PR list, and then all of a sudden, I was in contact with ColourPop. They talked to me about something else, and they were like, we would like to put you back on the PR list. Am I upset with them for taking me off PR for a bit? Not really. Like, it's their decision to have me or not have me on PR. It's not up to me to decide, hey, I want to be on PR. I want to get all the releases. It's their releases. They get to decide what they're going to do. I'm using the Brisk shade from the pastel palette now. I don't know why I'm so messy today. I feel like I'm not really sorting this out. Maybe this is what I needed. Yeah, this is what I needed. I'm a mess. I will fix this. Trust the process. Or maybe not. Has this stopped me from loving ColourPop or from really enjoying the things that they release and buying from them? No, I still bought a lot of things from ColourPop. And with ColourPop, I went from getting a package a month to some packages a month to being no longer on the PR list, from getting put on the PR list, and now I'm on the PR list that gets everything. So I get about one package a week from ColourPop, which is honestly sometimes a little overwhelming, but I also do love a lot of things from ColourPop and I love trying them out. And every now and then that collection comes that's just mind-blowing and that just blows you away and you're like, I might not have bought this had it not been for them sending it to me. And that's a little bit part of PR. Sometimes you find your favorite things from the brand through PR. Just imagine that red blush from ColourPop. I'll put it here. It's from the High School Musical collection. I mentioned it in my yearly favorites. I would have never bought that. High School Musical? I didn't even watch the series. I would have never bought that blush had it not been sent to me in PR. But it is the most wonderful, wearable, sheer, matte red blush. It is absolutely stunning and I cannot recommend it enough. I've talked about it so much on my channel. I would have never bought that had I not received it in PR. Like, why would I buy that? High School Musical? I hadn't even watched it. So sometimes PR is a way for you to discover hidden favorites and talk about them to your audience. You have no idea about the hidden gem in this collection. I like this eye look a lot now that I was able to fix it a little bit, and I hope you were able to see, like, in real life, or like in real life, in real life, who am I? In real time, how I was able to sort it out. There is a little fallout here though. I will sort that. But I really like how this is looking. Should I do a little shimmer? Because there is a little beautiful like iridescent shimmer in this one. Let me see. I think you can see there's like some, ooh. Yeah, let's do this here because I feel like it really goes with this look. I really like the quads from ColourPop. I think they're so nice. That's pretty. I wonder if this one would be better if I sprayed it. Should I spray my finger? Is this a thing? Nobody tell the makeup pros. I don't want to see this on like a Pro MUA reacts, okay? At least I didn't lick it. That's really nice. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the look. Let me do the same on the lower lash line too. But yeah, ColourPop, one of those brands that I was on, off, and now on again. If I end up being off again, that's totally fine. I'll still be purchasing the brand because honestly, I really like a lot of the stuff that they do. I'm using this eyeliner that came from the same collection with ColourPop in my waterline. I do love, I always put something in my waterline and I always try to make it a little like monochromatic as well when a chance is given. This one is called Surf Thing. So I am gonna do some, what was that? I'm gonna do some mascara and I'm gonna do some lashes, but I want to talk about one more brand. So I'm actually gonna do some eyeliner first and I'm gonna do a little detail because I thought it could be fun to do this mix between the cool tones and the warm tones, and this is from Melt. And we can talk about Melt as my, I was gonna say last brand, but actually I have another brand as well that I'll talk about last. I think I'm gonna try and use, I'm just putting my eyeliner brush in here. I'm gonna use this, is a gel eyeliner in Estrella, which means star in Spanish, right? I'm gonna do a line here. That looks really cool. I'm gonna perfect that a little bit soon. I'm also gonna do a line under here. Should I do black here too? Would that be cool? You know what? I might do that. Okay, I gotta say, this looks incredibly fierce and I'm very, very happy I did the black too. I think it looks so cool. Here's the thing with Melt. I only got one PR package from Melt and I didn't really include First of all, I did include really, really small indie brands that no longer send me PR, probably because I don't do dedicated videos on super small indie brands anymore. And I do not in any way, shape, or form blame them for not sending me PR. Their PR is much better served at other influencers. So I think that's actually a good idea, and I didn't include that here. I also didn't include a lot of other brands that only sent me PR once and then never again. By Terry, like, what's their face? The ones with the faces, the balm, all these brands have sent me some PR at one time. But with Melt, I wanted to include them because it's one of those brands that I always wanted to be on their PR list, because I really do like Melt. Even though I feel like they're falling behind a little bit lately, I really, really do like Melt and I like their formulas. They sent me one PR package, and I think the only reason why they sent me that PR package is because they were trying to sell that holiday release 2021, right? You know, the Amor y Mariposas, because I don't think that that collection was selling. So they were sending out PR boxes to more influencers after the first drop, probably hoping that the collection would sell a little bit more. And I don't think, honestly, that that helped either. I don't blame them for not adding all of those people to their PR list later on, but it's one of those brands that once I realized, like, oh, this was a one-time thing, it just stinged a little bit, because I've been such a fan of Melt from the absolute very beginning. I was buying them back in 2000 whatever, 16, 17, when they started the brand, and I just really have been with them all through this journey, and I really do like Melt. But with that being said, I'm still buying from Melt. It didn't stop me from continuing to buy the releases, although I will say I didn't buy those bronzers. Did you like them? Can I get a mini review of the Melt bronzers? Am I missing out? Should I be purchasing them? Do let me know. Let me put on some lashes, let me brush my hair, and we could just have a final chat about, does it really matter if you get kicked off a PR list? Fun fact, there was actually one more brand that I wanted to mention, but I have decluttered every single thing that I have either gotten or bought from this brand, and I don't have a single thing in my collection still from Urban Decay. There is nothing here. I have given away all of the things that I have either bought myself or gotten in PR, and them taking me off PR, probably a great idea. Like, I don't seem to like their products. Why would they keep me on PR when I don't have anything left in my collection from them? So I think that if they release something that I really, really, really want to try, it's better that I just go out and buy that one thing myself than them sending me PR when I'm obviously not jiving 100% with the brand, because it just ends up being a hauling and decluttering cycle that I just don't want to have. So there's also been some brands like Natasha Denona, but also brands that I'm no longer interested in, where I've asked to be taken off PR, because it's like, these aren't products that I am really super interested in to have on my channel. That's the reason why I don't have an open PO box, because I don't want brands to just willy-nilly be able to send me stuff. If you want to send me stuff, you have to email me and ask me for my address. And if I don't want to have PR from your brand, I'm just not going to give you my address. And I'm not saying this to be all high and mighty and be like, I'm so much better than everyone else, because this gives me extra work. But I kind of don't want to just, like, for me, PR, it's not just getting free makeup, it is work material. Do I want to work with this? No. Then why should I have it? Because it just ends up being a pile of things that I have to give away to someone, better than that the brand sends it to someone that actually does want to work with it. Because I don't want to clutter up my life more than it's already been cluttered up with stuff. But I would love to hear your thoughts about this. And I'm never salty when a brand takes me off PR, because usually there is a really, really good reason as to why I'm no longer on the PR list. And it's not really anyone hating me or thinking that I'm like a bad person or being salty because I don't like the brand. It's not about that. We're not friends. This is not like a friend ghosting me. This is a business thinking I'm not good for business, which is totally fine, let's be honest, because that's how we think as well when we buy versus not buy makeup. Me anti-hauling something is literally saying, you're not good for my business. It's a two-way street. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this didn't come off too ranty. I'm trying to keep it a little bit more on the positive side here on my channel. We don't need to be praising everything, but we can try and see things from a more positive perspective. I hope you're having an amazing day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again real soon in a new video. Bye!